Hello, today we were talking about the culture or youth sports as Dr. Walker puts it. So the prompt was just win, baby. And the first question is your opinion on youth sports as a whole. So my opinion on youth sports is I think it should be fun. I think it should be for the kids. I think it should be centered around the kids. I don't necessarily think it should be centered around winning, even though I know winning is a part of every single game you play. There's always going to be a winner and loser at the end of the day. But I think kids should be, building character and really finding out, if they love the sport, and they should be brought up, not torn down, like I think most coaches do in this kind of coaching era, and that's something we'll get into later. But my own life experiences, I remember playing t-ball when I was little and just having fun hitting the ball off the tee and then running to first base. Just catching balls, throwing to first base or wherever that was, or just getting into pickles and things like that. It was just so much fun because, I was just having fun, and that's all that I cared about, being in t-ball. And then once I got a little bit older, I cared a little bit more, every year about the competition. But just having fun at the end of the day and getting a juice box and getting a snack was the best part, if we're all being honest. The second question, it says the impact that parents have on a child's youth experience. I think the impact of a parent's child's youth experience is huge. I really think it shapes them in so many ways. As an athlete, wanting to get better, wanting to be on that field, off the field, being the best person you can possibly be. As a student, with, being an athlete, you have to be a great student. So if you're doing good as an athlete and as a student, the parent can really help make sure those two things are going together with great communication. But then most of all, a competitor. So at the end of the day, you're striving to be the best you can. So just to the point that I just made, as an athlete, you want to be the best you can. You want to be the best student you possibly can, the best person you possibly can. Because if you're working and getting better and building your character, you will be a better person. And I really think that starts at the youth age. I mean, yeah, you can try and teach it if you want at the middle school age, but by then, are they really going to listen? No, not exactly. So you got to start them young, but have a positive impact on their experience. Because I have a bad experience with football, basketball, tennis, bowling, whatever it may be at the age and youth that they're playing, then they necessarily, are like, I don't want to play that. My parents, push me too hard, or it isn't fun to me anymore. But hopefully, it doesn't happen. Hopefully the parents' impact can be positive, loving, caring, and like I said, all building character. And because I know that's what my parents did a lot. And I wanted to reference some the videos that we watched. So the first one that I watched was the Rivals, Miami's youth football. So in that one, they were kind of very competitive. So I feel like they were kind of like the AAU of like youth like football, I guess. And they're going really hard. They're really over the top of the line. Getting yelled at, competition, things like that. And it also said that they lived in like not so good neighborhoods. There were a couple youth athletes that actually came out of there became professional football players. Antonio Brown, Devontae Freeman, who actually is in this video, and he just kind of talks about how coaches saw potential in me at a young age, and just thought that I could be something that I didn't know that I could be yet. And he told him that and got him playing on the football field, and now Devontae Freeman plays for the Atlanta Falcons. But it's really cool to see that the coaches, they're like, hey, you should play, and I think you'd be great, because, that starts them, maybe, you can be great at football, and then, your life will just, work its way up from there, maybe being a professional football player, maybe not, but at least giving yourself a chance, building your character and things like that. And then they also talked about in this video how this one kid passed away who was on the football team, but as a team and as a community they came together. And I think that was something that was so special, because we see that things happen in middle school, we see that things happen in high school, we see that happen to adults as well, but to see that happen at a youth level, and they're able to bring the community together and really surround it, teaches the kids we're here for everybody. It goes way more than just sports. It affects everyday life and things like that. I'm sorry, I was trying to look for the right word, but it just affects their life and shows that life is bigger than sports. Sports isn't everything, but sports can bring people together and really develop a person. And the second video, which was really good, actually, I loved it. I'm not gonna lie. it talked about sucking the fun out of youth sports, and about this guy who has kids and he's worked for all these different like people and things like that. And then this one time he had an experience where this woman, this assistant coach for the soccer team, was just yelling every time that the other team stole the ball, and then she kept hackling the ref and things like that, and it was just getting out of hand. And as we put it, she was a dysfunctional fan of the game, even though she was an assistant coach. And he went over and talked to her and was like, you just can't do this, because he worked for the head of it. And he was like, I'll report you. And it was just crazy to think that this whole video just talked about how when it comes to sports, we really just let the disrespect out of the bag. But when it comes to like chess or playing other games or gymnastics or things like that, we don't do that. And he made multiple great points about that, which was really good, because why is it just the high level sports like basketball, baseball, football, or like things like that we're just like, we just don't care, we let the lid come off. And he put up this flyer which was like really good, because it opened your eyes, and it just you want the parents to support the kids and to not be a dysfunctional fan and be ignorant and just do things that like that people just shouldn't do, or shout words that people shouldn't shout. So one thing, so he made a flyer that he put around the soccer fields, and they had different bullet points on it of things and stuff, and it said, referees and umpires and officials are human and make mistakes, just like players, coaches, and you. No one shouts at you in front of other people when you make a mistake, so please don't yell at them. We do not have replay, so we will go with their calls, which is really good. And that line hit me especially because I used to be an umpire for a summer, and it was youth. It was the playoffs, youth baseball, and the teams were doing really good. And there's trash talking going back and forth. You expect that no matter what sport you play. But they had this taller kid who was kind of, I would say, like a DH, and he hit a home run or like all the way to the fence when he was batted up last time, and the coach told the pitcher, next time I go out there and he's up to bat, walk him intentionally. And so that sucks when it happens, but it's part of the game and it is what it is. But then I'm sitting right behind home plate, and the parents are getting so mad, saying things that probably shouldn't be said, and then one lady just like went off and was like cussing, using the F word, using language like I said that shouldn't have been said. And as an umpire or as a referee or as an official, you have the authority to kick them out. And so that's exactly what I did, and I kicked him out and out of the ballpark, because I was not going to tolerate that. Because as a reminder of this whole course, this whole video that we're talking about, it's about youth sports, and we're there for the kids. Yes, you may not like what the other team's doing. Yes, you may not agree with the coaches or anything like that. But at the end of the day, you have to respect it. And as a fan, you have to learn to keep your mouth shut and let the players play. And then there was another bullet point on here, actually, and it said the only reason children want to play sports is because it is fun. Please don't let the behavior of adults ruin their fun. And that line just hit home. It just hit home, because I'm like, I see so many people, and don't get me wrong, I've done this, we're all accused of it. Sometimes, our emotions get the best of us and we say things we shouldn't have. But at the end of the day, kids are there to have fun. And if they're not having fun anymore, why are you playing the game? And that not only goes for youth sports, but that goes to when you play in middle school, when you play in high school, when you're playing in college, or even when you're playing professional ball. As soon as it doesn't become fun anymore, why are you playing the sport? Because it shouldn't be a job. And kids shouldn't feel like they are going to a job or getting yelled at or burned down, because that's how you create burnouts. And kids don't want to play anymore. They get yelled at, things like that. And sometimes that can be to the parents or the adults or other family members just saying things that shouldn't be said, or just tearing them down. And that's not what youth sports is all about. Here we go. The third video, called Trophy Nation. Now we talked about it before, we've heard about it. But he was talking to this one lady, the guy that was running the show was talking to this one lady, and she said that she put a stop to it, and she only gives out medals to winners. And I thought that was amazing, because I remember growing up, I played baseball tournaments, and I remember, getting a third place trophy. But that was it, all it went to. Just like in the Olympics, all you get is a first, second, and third. You don't get a fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh, or eighth. Now, do you? No. And that's exactly the way it should be. You get, you go first, you get the championship. You get second place, that's cool. Third, you get a bronze. It's not the end of the world. But after that, it just seems redundant to give everyone a participation trophy. It just doesn't seem right. Me, especially growing up, I didn't get any of those. Like I said, I got third place, I got second place, and I was like, man, these trophies are nice. Like, I mean, I'm glad, don't get me wrong, I'm glad that I have these trophies, but it showed that, I can do better. I know that I can do better because if I achieve third place, why can't I go for second? Why can't I go for first? And so I think it's good to give out first, second, and third, but not anything below that, because then it doesn't teach the kids anything. It doesn't teach them to strive for better. It doesn't help them. It doesn't build their character. It just shows that, hey, you can show up. You cannot come to a single practice or a single game and still get a trophy. That's not right at all. I don't think that's cool. I definitely would not, if I was a coach, I would not give all participation trophies. I would definitely, give them juices and snacks, because that's your reward, because you didn't do anything better than that. You didn't win, did you? You didn't get first, you didn't get second, and you didn't get third. Not to sound harsh there, but that's the cold reality of it. You can't be spoiled and be like, oh yeah, and they were even talking in the video that, just like I was saying back earlier, life is bigger than sports. It affects them when they're in college. It affects them when they're in high school, because they think they should be doing good. They think they should be praised for just putting in minimum effort or just coming to class. Well, good for you. We all got to come to class. That's called participation. What are we doing right now? But you actually got to put in the work if you want to get the grade that you want to get. So it was just crazy to me to just really dig deep and really talk about the issue of everyone getting a trophy, because me growing up, I don't believe that you should get a trophy if, past third place. And like I said, it was just very eye-opening, and I kind of got mad during the video because of they did give up participation trophies, but hopefully we can fix the world and it won't go to that. And then to our, it's 12 minutes in. So the third bullet point, I wasn't sure which one I was at. It says, what should the coaching style of youth sports be versus what is a common coaching style of youth sports today? Well, the coaching style that should be is, like I was saying earlier, fun, all about the kids. Loving, participating, putting everyone in their rotation, even if they only play one inning in baseball, they play 5 plays. You got playing time. You play for 4 minutes. That's awesome. At least you got the chance to do that, to see if you like it or not. It should be all about the kids, not about winning. Can't repeat myself enough. All about the kids. Versus the common coaching style of today sports, it's, man, where do I start? It's just, it's horrible. It's all about winning. It's like the best players are going to play. If you're not giving 100% effort, you're just not playing, which I do kind of get that one a little bit. But those should be middle school, those should be high school, those should be college. Those are the rules that you should be telling them. If you're not going to put 100%, you're not, willing to be out there, and you're not all about winning, then you're going to sit on the bench. And, I've been victim to that. I wasn't the best player in my high school baseball team, and unfortunately, I set the bench more games than I would like to, but it taught me a lot. It really showed me that life is bigger than sports. I'm here to support you, just like I would be in youth Little League sports, and I'm still here to support you and be like, hey, I'm glad you're doing good. Hopefully I get to go play, and when you get to play, you seize the opportunity and you go for it. And then the last bullet point says, is it all too much for this level of sport? I think it can be all too much for this sport, especially because they're developing. They just want to have fun. They're thinking about juice boxes, and they're thinking about their friends. They're not really thinking too much about, oh, hey, I got this game today. I better go, hit him as hard as I can. I better, hit him with the helmet, give him a concussion. No, they're not thinking like that. Yes, they are going to be competitive, but they're only going to be competitive in more of hey, it's all for you guys. We want you to win. We want you guys to have fun. We want you to win, but have fun while doing it. Don't cheat. Don't do anything that would deteriorate your character. They want to build their character up, and they want them to get even better. So that's my response to this prompt, and I hope you guys all liked it.